this young kid. The point being, like, if I look at this young kid, okay, Freddie, you're asking the question from the outside of the bubble. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to tell you that look at the truth like this. Say this kid, or say any man with the trouble, where do you want him to fit? Let's be super honest. Where would you like this guy to fit?
That's why I said I named him just to show you that there are artists out there there are other guys as maybe not just as good as anyone, but that do better than most of those other artists. Like for example, a White Bee or Lost or whatever.
Yeah,
they get more streams, more YouTube views, more everything.
Yeah,
and they're not in the media getting shitted on every day. So somebody could easily come through and sign them. But
sign them to do what?
Sign them for whatever, the same way you sign whoever else to promote them.
Okay, so all these labels that are existing in hip hop, white hip hop, hip hop keb, the way they call it, right? The only reason they stay open is because they get grants. They're not truly making numbers. It's like a business that's not truly self-sustaining. It's just all about grant game. So all of us are doing all this work, or people from outside the bubble are putting work, like doing all this YouTube stuff, and not understanding that when what's one of the big French rappers here, Corias, right?
Okay.
When Corias goes on tour, it's all financed government. You understand? It's not like he's making $5,000 a date. He's like a salarié. Like he gets a check like a regular person. Like he does his job like a plumber does his job. Except that the government has a mission to help the culture live, the music culture live. And when you understand, when I put it from that frame, understand that if you go one step higher, what they mean is keb. Like, would they have no choice to give you something if you were doing something? Of course. But say you put on a roster of black guys that were nice, like real hip hop dudes, nice, doing something serious. They see no advantage in financing your music. Even though your numbers are good, better than all these guys on social media, the people that are at the head of this are going to put a stop to it because there's only so much in the envelope. And if you go in and get a lot of it for something that they don't understand, they rather go to some guy who's never going to make it, but he looks like what they see as Quebec culture. When you, just because of your color, don't look like Quebec culture.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? So it's about figuring out how we make it work for ourselves.
I agree.
Literally. Like trying to make it into a system where understand that when they give you those grants, at some point somebody's going to say, we don't like your content. Somebody's going to say this. Like they're going to say. So imagine I've asked for grants. After we sold 1 million records on the second album, just for the fun of it, we asked for a grant. We didn't get it.
What was the excuse? You're
Does
already
it matter?
self-sustained?
No, they finance self-sustained artists all the time. They finance like Audiogram gets a blank $1 million check. Audiogram is one of the bigger French Canadian labels. Like they did Daniel Bélanger and stuff like that, right? So they're a part of a program called VEM, if it still exists, where they get like a check of $1 million a year. They just have to say, okay, we're going to do this project, that project. They don't need authorization. They're just
show how they're going to spend it.
They're being sustained by the government to stay open because they excuse it in saying we need the culture. Like if we don't pay for this, there's not going to be any more Quebec music. So we're failing at our purpose. And they've put it into the machine. So when you understand that that's how they work for that label, yeah, I suppose you could say, okay, I want to do the same. But when they see a bunch of black guys doing hip hop, I'm not gonna give you that check, bro. They're gonna change the rules.
To me, when I say like obviously the culture comes from black people, but it's not necessarily always black people.
Yes.
And my problem with French Canadian rap, a lot of it is that.
Do you like it? Do you like any of it?
No, most of it, no. And it's people. It's like someone doing blackface.
Oh, that's how you feel.
Yeah.
All right.
A lot of them,
Why?
I look at it and it's like it's almost a caricature of what hip hop is.
But why? Why do you see it that way? Like if you went to
Japan, the slang.
But if you went to Japan and saw all these guys doing hip hop, and there's a beautiful, beautiful hip hop scene of Asian hip hop happening and hybrids of that and all, you see it the same way or just these guys?
I'd have to understand what they're saying for me to be able to have an opinion of it.
Okay.
Because when I listen to the stuff here, it's like the slang is sometimes like a lot of it, like how are we saying that we want to push Quebec culture and we're only giving money to a certain type of people, but yet they're using all our slangs, we dress the way we dress, look the way we look, say the things we say.
Yeah.
And they can't even do it right.
Yeah. But what's right? Like, I guess I'm at that space where I'm like, but what's right? They took it, they made something that's their own. And
not to say that they're all terrible. And not to say that they're all terrible. I'd be lying.
I would have agreed if you said they're mostly terrible. There's not
mostly,
not a
yes,
lot
not all.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
But it's more like saying, but there's no version of it that you will listen to. Like, if a white rapper came out, he would have literally to be Eminem. Like, he would have to be
for me to listen to it?
Exceptional, probably. For you and most of us.
You know, I would listen to a lot of them if they didn't do the whole franglais thing.
Oh, yeah? Why?
It just bothers, it irks me. It just doesn't work for me, bro.
Okay, because it's them?
No, period.
Okay.
Because you know, like when we speak and there's franglais, it just sounds right.
Yeah.
But sometimes there's some people that speak and they do it, it just doesn't sound right to me. And it has nothing to do with white or black. Yeah. It just doesn't sound right.
Okay, so then I'll say this. My issue with, not you, but the way you speak and a lot of people in the city speak is that I'm trying to say that this moment is prime for Quebec's version of Notorious B.I.G. Somebody that will take all these elements that they've been doing wrong and do it the way we would have done it in the first place and show these motherfuckers how it's done. But it's for us to step up.
Okay.
There's no other way.
I don't disagree with that at all.
You know what I mean? Like, they're doing all this stuff. All they're doing is creating a demand for when the true God comes through. But he has to show up. Right now, there's nothing in the wings. Doesn't exist. And part of it is that I'm sorry for my people.
Not to cut you off, you mean like someone universally that everybody says, okay, he's that dude?
For us first.
Okay. Okay, but still like universally, because there are guys, but some people will say, nobody will say Biggie's whack. Nobody will say Biggie's whack.
Except somebody exceptional in their field. Like, he wasn't the best of anything. He just was right. Biggie was perfect for Biggie, right? But I keep saying to a lot of my friends, we've been in this fight so long of saying white people don't want to give us a spot that we kind of forget. Like, it's almost as if there's a lot of us not thinking, hey, you think they're at home thinking about the same thing we're thinking about? No. They don't give a fuck. They're living their lives. You get what I mean? Like, you got to do for self and do it so well that they feel like they need to come to your party. You get what I mean? But right now, when I look at local hip-hop or local urban music, as much as Drake has crafted his thing, and I think his immersion into American culture has helped him a great deal, but, there's something in how I look at a lot of local hip-hop that seem as corny as Drake. It's trying to fit in every hole at the same time, not just being great at one. I think that's kind of why Enemas doing so well, is that he's bathing in his zone. He's not trying to be a super lyricist. He's a pimp turned rapper, and that's all his music is about, essentially, the game. Whether it is what the game is or how he raps game to a chick. Every love song is really a love song to a fucking prostitute. Long story short.